Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Veteran Revivals. I'm Art, Veteran Idiot. This one over here is going to be Private Pile.
Sir! Do you think I'm cute, Private Pile? Do you think I'm funny? Sir, no, sir!
I need to start putting that thing together. I'm going to order up some seals and everything for the doors and everything like that, but I can still get the doors and all that stuff on. We're not doing that today, but we are going to start with it because that left front tire there is almost flat, and I need to move this thing out and around, and I don't know the little tractor can drag it with that tire flat. So you're probably wondering why I got this air hose sticking out of my armpit. So let's get to that. This little guy is an air compressor that GooLoo sent. They sent this with the Jumpstart pack for me to take a look at and review. And I gotta say, right off the bat, not impressed with the case. I think the case on the Jumpstart pack was a lot cooler and a lot better, but again, this is like, it's not an expensive air pump, so if it works, I'll be surprised completely, because this thing is super priced to sell. So a lot of times stuff at that price point but doesn't work very well, so we're gonna give it a shot, and if it works, then it is the buy of the century. This thing has a bunch of different settings on it. It also comes with a charger and some, like for the basketball and or pool floaties and stuff like that, those two connectors, but it's actually a really clean looking pump. I'll give them that. It's got a flashlight too. Oh snap. Alright, everything really needs a flashlight these days anyway, so that's kind of cool. Let's turn it on. It's got different modes, like car, motorcycle, bicycle, basketball, and then I'm not too sure what the star with the over the heart is. Is that for, like, if you got some sort of heart device that pumps it up? I don't know, like a balloon pump or something, no. But I'll have to look at the instructions to see what that is. Maybe it's a preference thing or something like that. But anyways, we're going to set this one to 35. Hook it up to the tire. Put it on car. See how well it does with this 31-inch Dahl tire. So it says that it is good for car tires, but for me, I don't have a whole lot of cars, so this thing's going to get the real ultimate test on a 31. I don't recommend trying to use this thing on anything bigger than that. It's probably not going to work well, and I don't know what the duty cycle is. It's not in the instructions anywhere. Usually Viair, you can buy their different pumps and everything like that. Some of them, if you get the high enough one, is 100% duty cycle. That means it'll run through the entire time that you're trying to pump the tire. Let's see exactly what this thing can do. We got a full charge. Let's hook it up. Alrighty. There's still some air left in this tire, but it's not a lot, that's for sure. 4.6 pounds. I'm gonna get something to set this on. I don't want to set it down in the dirt. I'm pretty sure the air intake is on this end, which is a little inconvenient if you're gonna stand it, the intake being here, but that's just an assumption. I don't know if that's actually where it's at. I see a little fan in there. That might just be the cooler for the compressor, the intake down there. Still, let me find something to set this on. All right, let's fire this bad dog off. Now let's see what it can do. And go. And pump. And go. Actually, let's time it, how long it takes to go from 4.5 pounds to 35. I don't know that you guys will be able to see this phone, but we'll play it anyways. And go. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think that little thing was gonna do it. It took a minute. It took exactly 11 minutes and 14 seconds to go from 4.5 pounds to 35 pounds, which I'm actually just impressed that it did it, because it's a little tiny compressor and it was like 50 bucks from GooLoo. So impressed on the fact that it actually did it. Not super practical for the things that I need it for, so I'll continue to use a rigid for the truck tires and stuff like that, but this thing would be absolutely great for everything else that I got, like Scrappy and the other cars and the little tractor and four-wheelers and dirt bikes and stuff like that. It would be perfect for all that stuff. So this thing, it says it'll do 150 psi, which I have no doubt that it could, but I would assume that's more of like a road bike tire. It's more so than a semi-truck tire or trailer tire or something like that. But it still has 3/4 of a charge and ran for almost 12 minutes straight. That's pretty impressive in itself. And actually, another cool feature here, sorry if I'm zoomed in on my nostrils, it's also a battery pack. You can charge your stuff off of it. Wouldn't recommend charging your stuff off of it while it's trying to compress stuff, but I give that a would actually buy for the price point to throw in with the trailer for any of the stuff that I got in there, the wheelbarrow tires, the hay barrel tires, all that stuff. This thing would be perfect to keep in the trailer and to take to the river and blow up all our floaties and everything else. It's a lot smaller than the Rigid. I'm a lot less worried about it getting stolen or lost at this price point, so I would get it. I would get it. I wouldn't expect it to do truck tires or anything like that, but I would get it. It gets a pass for me, and thank you, GooLoo, for sending this out and having me take a look at it. Now let's get back to the other stuff. So, for those of you that were watching that whole thing with Oscar trying to figure out why it kept falling on its face and why we could never actually drive the thing like a regular truck, we actually figured it out. Oh, by the way, new design, new shirt up on the website, veteranrevivals.com. I actually really like this design. I changed up the sleeve a little bit. Oh, it's on this side. It doesn't have this. It's going to have the Roman numeral 6 and in a subdued black, but check it out on the website. So back to Oscar. Let me show you what we figured out and why the O2 sensors would go full tilt rich and it would fall on its face after 40% throttle. Also, 83 degrees right now. It's absolutely amazing. So those for you that felt bad for me who sweating my nethers off working in the heat, today's a nice day, which is why I'm out here. So this is our issue. So it's all zip tied up right now. So this bellow with this airbox, the airbox was sitting down in the bottom over here. The bellow would actually suck closed and pull down, and so it was blocking off airflow. It was literally closing off airflow as soon as it would get enough suction from the engine. And so we zip tied it up to hold it in a position and closed, and now you can just mat the throttle all the way to the floor and it's good to go. Still have an issue with the first time you turn the key over, it doesn't want to fire. The second time you do it, it starts right up. And I think that might be a cam sensor. So today we're going to roll through all of that stuff and put an intake on we got off of Cramazon for super cheap, see if that'll work. And also we'll replace that cam sensor. And I finally got some sail windows to replace these 250 decibel whistling absolute nightmare while you're on the highway sail windows. And maybe we'll move the battery up front as well today. So let's get Oscar squared away and actually super comfortable and usable, because it's nice outside. And I have some sad news about Earl, so let's go over there and check that out. So not only is Earl covered in all of this crap from Private Pile, but if you remember from my last video about the trip to Tucson to see how well it did on the interstate, excuse me, I just have to move all this crap on the floor that gets piled around that doesn't move for a couple days. So I was smelling coolant and I couldn't see where it was dripping from, and it wasn't coming out the burp on the side, and I was a little perplexed in why I could smell it so strongly inside the cab. And we were losing coolant, but there was none in the oil and there was no steam coming out the exhaust. So good and bad with this. This is the bad. All these witness marks and drips underneath the tank of the radiator. As I was laying under here, I saw some drips, and so I decided, oh well crap, let's look at the radiator. Maybe we got a leak somewhere. So then I got up here and started looking around and saw all of this and that down there, and then over there and you can't see it on that side, but down there as well on that side, all the way across, and it's fresh coolant. It is leaking from the top of the tank all the way around. And so I reached out to Cold Case and let them know the radiator, less than a year old, was leaking all over the place from the top of the tank all the way down both sides. These guys responded to the email, no questions at all, said, we got you, send us a serial number, we'll send you a new one. Replaced it. It's on its way. So the bad news for Earl, he's down right now. The good news is then in a couple days we'll have a new radiator back in here. Thank you, Cold Case. That is a beautiful representation of customer service at a company. So if you have had any questions about Cold Case back in their product, that should answer it. They're good to go. All right, so I feel like I'm talking a bunch about products everywhere for everything, so I might as well mention what sail windows we're putting in Oscar. So reached out to Precision and said, hey, we got some issues with our sail windows, and they were like, we have this perfect kit for you, we'll set it up, we'll send it out. And bam, they sent the whole kit. There's even video instructions on how to do all this, because in portions you have to drill out the factory holes and put in their kit, which is an improved style. And I'm so excited to throw this in and show you guys. They didn't sponsor us with any of this stuff, so it is a little pricey, but you're about to see why it's pricey. And so let's get started. I also picked up some new bolts for this thing, so we can finally get this thing straightened out. Somehow it was caught in a corner over here and bent down, but maybe if we get all the bolts in it and a jack and just really hammer on it, we can get it straightened out, because it has been rolling like this for about a year now or more, just kind of hanging on there. As you can see, some of the bolts, they're there, they're just not there. You get what I'm saying? Alright, so I got the old one out. This side's not too bad. It's still in somewhat okay shape. There's a big gap across the top here, and the seals are all blasted out of it, so it needed to come out. There's no way around that. Wasn't too bad to get out. There were some learning things I need to figure out, but it's out now, and we can toss in this new one. But I'm gonna wash my hands first, since I got grease and everything all over me. But the new one, shoot purdy, tell you what. Drops down in the same spot, except for we got to drill some holes a little bit bigger on the front side in here, and get their recommended bolts in there to make it a little bit of a stronger deal. So toss that in real quick. After llaves las manos. Alright, hands are washed, nice and clean for the new window. So we're gonna put this thing back in here, and the way it's gonna work is it's gonna sit back down in here, and then we're gonna snug it with this top hole and the hole down in the bottom of the door down here, and then we'll drill new holes that line up with these after rolling up the window. That way we know it's in the right spot, and then we can put in those cone screws in the front there, and it's done. I mean, this is, I don't know if you remember the video where I put one in the 60 or 72 C10, put new sail windows in that one, and you had to take like the whole door apart, take all the glass, everything out to get to it, even the door handle on the back side. I think I actually did that because the button was broken. Anywho, it was a pain. This seems way simpler. We're not done yet. I may have jinxed myself, but we're still going ahead with it. The way the instructions show, it looks easy, so we're doing it. Come on, baby. Oh, they were nice enough to send new bolts, new screws, and the right size drill bit for the kit. What a team. That is pretty fancy. I'm sold. I don't even care how the kit goes and what it looks like and how long it lasts. It came with a drill bit. I'm sold. Shoot and do. Ooh, ah.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, she nice. They say to spray this all with foam glass cleaner to get it to slide up in the door. Let's get it up there first before we try and do all that and it's slipping around all over the place. There is a bit of finesse to get this in here, which is ironic because I ain't got none of that. No finesse in this. Son of a biscuit. If you're waiting to see if I shatter the glass, you might not have to wait long. There she goes. Yeah. Give it a little more. So she slides in. Ow! Things inside the door are sharp, in case nobody knew. Now you do. Problem number 1. The glass is not in the channel. Solved. Problem number 1 solved. Alright. Problem number 2. We're not up high enough to pull that in. Ooh, we're almost there. Oh, I think that did it. Let's put that screw in the top, see if we can draw it up a little bit. I know that's probably a terrible idea because this is a little tiny screw. But do it anyways. Where's the hole, bro? As expected, sucked it right up in there. Get this bolt on down here. Down here. Right in here. All right, now we roll it up, drill these 2 holes, put in the screws, slap the panel back on. Oh, that's nice. So, one thing to note, it doesn't come with this seal on the inside of this door run, or this window channel. Was not expecting that. That's not totally a good find. Interesting. So, as excited as I am with how easy this went and how good these are, I am disappointed that it did not come with the seal for this window run on the inside, and that I will have to get one and then put it in, take this out again to put it in. That's a bummer. All right, let's move on. Alright, let's drill these holes. Let's drill. This one should be interesting because it's not super accessible with a drill. Bummer, bro. Man, that really bums me out. Alright. Ow. It actually hurt a lot. Ow, it did the exact same thing over again. Oh, some cloud cover. I love you. We got it, girls. We got it. I don't know why I'm excited. I'm gonna have to take all this back out when those runs show up after I wear them. Oh, I'm gonna have to get the little guy. The little teeny fella. My buddy. My buddy and... Any of you guys remember My Buddy and Me? I had a My Buddy and Me. I also had a big wheels, so it was pretty much exactly like the commercial.
My buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy and me.
But only cooler. They couldn't show me on the commercial because I'm too cool. They wanted to set the bar a little bit lower so it was more realistic, you know. So that's a fun fact of the day. I was the my buddy and me kid until they realized I was too cool. Woo! Voila! That's it. Super easy install. Real sad it doesn't come with the gasket, the door runner, or window channel runner, whatever the hell you want to call it. It didn't come with it. Real sad about that. Otherwise, beautiful product. Very, very nice. All right, let's do the other side. And there you go. 10 minutes later, old one is out, new one is back in. Super easy kit, super high quality. Giant sad face that it doesn't come with the window channel gasket. There may have been a misunderstanding on our end. I don't know. We'll call them, see if we can't get the gaskets shipped out along with the seals for private pile. But that was super simple to swap those out. It's one of those things that you are reluctant to do or postpone. You keep putting it off because you think it's just gonna be a pain. In like 20 minutes I had both of these changed out and new ones in, and they are super nice quality. So recommend it if you got some sail windows that are leaking or whistling. Precision, they do seals and windows. All right, now let's throw this intake on here and see if it fixes all of our worries and troubles, and then we'll go get a cam sensor, or maybe we'll get the cam sensor first. That way it's got time to cool off before we stick our arms back there. Hopefully I don't have to pull off the intake too, because that sucks. Okay, I feel better now. Let's do it. All right, let's yank this intake off and open up the box and see what we got in the other one. Oh. Sweet Caroline. Holy diver. Okay, let's see what we got here. Some seals. Yes. Giant filter. Although it does not appear to be K&N, so we'll see if the K&N one I got in there fits on here. Holy diver, down too long on a midnight. Ooh. I don't know the words to that song. Don't judge me on that. Better be instructions and hardware in this one, because there ain't nothing in those. Oh, it has got a floppy elbow on it. Not a good sign. All right. So, this here fella, not super jazzed about how floppy this is. We'll give it a go, see how it does. 'Cause that's just about all we can do. Trying to get the intake to go over to the passenger side. So the driver's side, I want to put the battery box back in so I can bring the battery back up here. We have there is no weight on the front end of this truck, and it is like a stagecoach driving anywhere. Holy diver, why won't you turn on here? What is going on with this thing? What do you want from me? Does that work? Does that work for you? Can we have some sort of middle ground here? Holy diver, down too long on a midnight. Ooh. Yes. Let's try this again. Whatever this rubber is, it is super grippy. That ain't gonna work. Man, oh man. When it comes with no instructions, you gotta figure it out on your own. So this intake was made for Silverado, so the chances of it like completely working, probably slim to zero. But we can make it kind of work. I'm good with that. Sun's starting to come out. It's hot. In case anybody was wondering. Okay, front half is on. So I tried to point it out this way. Can't get it past the alternator. That sucks. I'm gonna have to find a passenger side battery tray for this truck. Maybe LMC has it. Let's go ahead. Finish the rest of this. Maybe that box will fit in here. Probably won't. Probably just gonna have to put this adapter on, put the filter on the end of it, and call it a day. We'll give it a try anyways. And presto, installed-o. So I did not like the cone filter, and the box that came with it, or the enclosure that came with it, was for a Silverado, and it wasn't going to work at all. So for this instance, we got the elbow up here. It's kind of spongy. We'll keep an eye on it, see if it sucks closed. If it does, it's going straight in the trash. But looks to me like it's probably going to suck closed. So that's probably going to be a no-go, and we'll have to find something else on the Amazons, fix that, but we'll see how it drives. Ran it over, mass airflow, put the factory box back on, drilled a hole in the fender down here so the box will sit down in it, and then it pokes through right here. Got the water drain, so we're good to go. Let's fire it up, take it out, get that cam sensor, then I guess we'll start changing that sucker out. Sounds like it's going to be super fun. Trying to get to it without taking that intake off, which is probably not going to happen. I'm probably going to have to take it off again for the 335th time. Hopefully not. All right. Key on. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put you guys somewhere where you can see, and you're going to let me know if that intake sucks closed. All right. Let me know what you see. What'd you see? Sounds good. Sounds really good, actually. Alright, let's see what it does under a load and go from there. If I haven't said it before, I'll say it now. The AC in this thing is real good. Real nice. So let's see, now that we get this swapped out, see if it falls on its face and we give her the juice. Fall in his face, but certainly not fast. Be like a truck Norris cam or something in here. So they did not have the cam sensor in stock. Wanted to get an AC Delco because LSs are super picky about their sensors. So that one's on order, but I did pick up a tensioner pulley and tensioner and a shorter belt because of this little rattling down here. And I think the issue is that the tensioner is perpendicular to the belt, and I think it needs a shorter belt to get it down at more of an angle, and it's not sitting there riding at the top and beating itself to death. So I got a new tensioner and pulley and a shorter belt, and we'll swap that out. First I'm gonna let this cool down for a little bit. And also, since I drove this at night the other day and couldn't see anything on the dash except for one little bulb down in the corner, went ahead and got all new bulbs for this dash. So we'll swap all of this out, swap all these bulbs, and we might finally have a true done project. Probably not. There's probably other things I want to do. Like I want to get rid of this utility bed and throw a regular bed on there. Just saying, that thing is pretty much useless. They don't make any parts for it anymore, so maybe a new bed on the back of this thing, or new to us bed. But these sail windows, not a peep out of them, not a whistle, nothing. Well, except for where the window meets the channel and there's no seal. But aside from that, those things are great. Fantastic job from Precision. Those things are great. Do we have the time to listen to me whine? Hopefully I don't have to take off this intake I just put on to get this out. Yes. It's not that way, bro. Yeah, there's little critter paw prints all over the intake here. Little kitty cats better stay out of here. None of those seem very loose. Let's lock the compressor and see if that's rattling. There it goes. Yeah, seems pretty tight. Just gonna say it's the idler pulley just rattling up against the stop maybe. Before we take all of that apart, since none of this seems very bad, there's no play and there's no grinding on either of the idles, we'll just change the belt with the shorter belt before we're going through all this trouble and see if maybe that's the issue. This one is a full inch shorter. Oh, it's so hot. And not like Jessica Alba hot. Like I'm scorching my arms off. Surface of the sun hot. Let's see if we can get that bad dog on. Might be interesting because it doesn't fit very well as it sits. This sucks. Fat buttholes. It sucks. All the buttholes.
What did he say?
Let's fire it up, see what we get. I don't hear any more rattling. Alright, I think putting that shorter belt on there took care of it. I think the tensioner was just all the way up and it was just bouncing off of the stop and causing that rattling. Still doing a little bit of this, but it's not bouncing up against the stop. Let's change out those light bulbs inside. Okie dokie. I think I'm gonna have to take off this light switch knob, if I remember correctly. And this thing, if I also remember correctly. And about 25 other screws over here. That's how you can get these plastics for the instrument panel off of Temu. I don't know if I'd be brave enough to give that a try. Spend $5, wait a month for it to show up, and then it'd be like the size of a micro machine or to fit a Hot Wheels car. Although, I mean, you're only out $5, so I mean, if it didn't work or was terrible, I guess it wasn't a total loss. I don't like that a bunch of plastic just keeps falling out every time I pull out a screw. It's concerning. Why aren't you coming out? What's your pop, Bob? What's up, bro? Come on out of here. Why? I don't remember this thing being such a colossal pain in the thing, the hang low, last time I took it out. Dude, it's just... You know what I'm about to say. There's just nothing easy. Jesus. We're good. Wow, that's impressive. Just tapped on that and the oil pressure gauge came back to life. Oh man, this entire cluster is gonna be broken, isn't it? Sweet. I had no idea that shift indicator, the little pointer, all it was a little tiny string clipped to the steering column. And as the steering column rotated, that changed the indication. It is the simplest design ever. Crazy how effective that probably is. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing out of here. Chances are probably not, but we can give it a try. Anywho, it's not that one. Not that one. Oh God! For those of you wondering, yes, it did hurt. Does this come out of here? Does this dash got to be off? No. No. Really? I guess we could try and take it off. What? This is why I don't like GM. This comes after complaining for weeks on end about the dash in the Mustang. We're not going to talk about that. How does one get this out? Somebody tell me. In 10 words or less. How do you get this out? For real? Alright, let's take the dash pad off. Seems like the reasonable thing to do for some lights on the dash. Okay, instrument cluster, yay. Oh, that's broke. Collateral damage, that's what we're gonna call it. Alright, come on out of there. And come out. And go. Come out. There we go. What's holding on to you? What is it? Where are you? Is it the speedometer? Alright, turns out it's pretty easy to get out. Just push this little tab forward. Speed up drops out the other side. It's nice. I'm gonna try and clean it up a little bit. And then we'll swap out all these bulbs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I said this last time when I was doing the Mustang. They are proud of these little tiny LED bulbs. They are like $18 for a pair of these things, which is crazy to me, but it is what it is, and they're the best for it. So black, weird. There is one problem with them. Sometimes they have a polarity, and so we'll plug this in and we'll flip on the lights to see which ones come on, which ones don't. It's not like a traditional bulb where you can plug it in either direction and it'll work. Oh no! Oh, one of these is missing. What did it do? 4-wheel drive. Doesn't have that. Weird. It's gonna turn out that I didn't get enough of these. You know how I know that? Because there's 2 more on the bottom here I didn't see. These things do not stay on the hood very well. They're scattering everywhere. What's this one for? Seatbelts? Don't need that one. Now we got enough. Brake? Yeah, muzzle. Believe this one was turn signal. Nope, it's just illumination. Doesn't need the choke. Listen, I don't know what I'm doing here. You all just keep it down, okay? I think that was it. Let's plug it in. Actually, I'm gonna take this cover off and clean it up. Bam. Clean. God. Turn signals. High beams. Alright. Alright. Put it back together. Alright. That's all put back together. We've done a lot today. None of which are as important as fixing this bumper. It is askew. Is that the proper term for it? Cockeyed, crooked, off-centered, a little left. We need to throw the new bolts that I got in it. If I ever can get this thing out of here. It's got one of these retainers on it, and it is doing a magnificent job retaining. All right, let's get these new ones in here. As you can see, it's a little crooked. But if we get all these bolts in here and up where they're supposed to be, maybe we can draw this thing back into place. Use this jack to straighten it out. That's my thought anyways. Don't hold me to it if I can't pull it off. Just know that I tried and I did my best. Finally, after over a year of having a crooked bumper, she's straight. Oh, that's gonna do it. I am whipped, even though I really didn't do that much. It was a lot to do. Tell you what, every time I step out and start doing something with one of these trucks and just pick away at the little things that are wrong with it, it makes driving it so much more fun. just knowing how much more reliable it is, just knowing how much better it works, just knowing how much effort to put into it, it's a great feeling. Now that all the lights are going to work, the bumper is straight, the sail windows are nice and sealed up, it makes it that much more of a Cadillac. So that's going to do it for today's episode of Watch Me Roll Around in the Dirt and Get Dirty. Make sure you check out the new merch at the site, veteranrevivals.com. Love all you guys. Also, you can check out that little GooLoo pump. Put the link in the description so you can check it out if you want to check it out. If you got some projects or something that thing would be perfect for, I give it a +1 for it'll do the job as long as you don't own any trucks. So that's going to be it. Thank you all for watching. And as always, have fun. Because I know I am.